Storms, both literal and metaphorical, have a way of catching us off guard. They test our resilience, reveal our vulnerabilities, and challenge our faith. In the Gospel of Mark, the story of Jesus calming the storm is a powerful narrative that speaks directly to the human experience of navigating life's tempests. This story is about more than just the wind and waves. It is a profound lesson about fear, faith, and the divine authority of Jesus. It captures the essence of human fragility in the face of overwhelming circumstances, while emphasizing the peace and power found in Christ's presence. As we delve deeper into this story, we'll uncover its relevance to our daily lives and the enduring truth it holds for believers across generations. A journey across the sea. The story begins with Jesus and his disciples crossing the Sea of Galilee. After a long day of teaching and ministering to the crowds, Jesus suggests, "Let's cross to the other side of the lake." The Sea of Galilee, a body of water known for its sudden and violent storms, becomes the backdrop for this dramatic event. Measuring approximately 13 miles in length and 8 miles in width, this freshwater lake is surrounded by hills, creating conditions where cold air from the mountains clashes with warm air over the water, triggering sudden storms. The disciples, many of whom were seasoned fishermen, would have been familiar with these waters and their unpredictability. Yet even their experience could not prepare them for the ferocity of this storm. As waves crashed against the boat and the water began to fill it, their panic grew, highlighting the raw and universal fear that comes with facing the uncontrollable forces of nature. As the waves crash against the vessel and water begins to fill it, the disciples are overcome with fear. Meanwhile, Jesus is asleep in the stern, resting with his head on a cushion. Their reaction is one of panic and desperation. They wake him, shouting, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to drown?" This plea reflects not only their terror, but also their uncertainty about Jesus' concern for their well-being. Their cry, a mix of accusation and appeal, reveals a profound human truth. In moments of crisis, we often question whether God sees or cares about our suffering. This moment sets the stage for one of the most awe-inspiring demonstrations of divine power in the New Testament. Jesus' response, divine authority revealed. What happens next is nothing short of miraculous. Jesus wakes up, rebukes the wind, and speaks to the waves. "Silence. Be still." Instantly, the storm ceases, and a great calm settles over the sea. The disciples, who moments earlier were gripped by fear, are now filled with awe and wonder. "Who is this man?" they ask one another. "Even the wind and the waves obey him." This moment is not only a testament to Jesus' divine power, but also a profound display of his authority over creation. It's a scene that reinforces the messianic identity of Jesus, aligning with Old Testament imagery of God's control over the seas and demonstrating his role as the creator in human form. This act is not merely about physical safety. It is a declaration of his identity and his power over all creation. The disciples' astonishment serves as a reminder of how often humanity underestimates the breadth of divine power. Theological themes: fear, faith, and transformation. The story highlights profound theological themes of fear, faith, and transformation, centering on the identity of Jesus and the faith of his disciples. The disciples' question, "Who is this man?" marks a turning point in their understanding, shifting from seeing Jesus as merely a teacher to recognizing him as the divine Son of God. His authority over nature, a power attributed solely to God as seen in Job, invites awe and reflection on his unparalleled power and deep compassion. This moment also challenges the disciples' faith, as Jesus' question, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" urges them to trust in him fully. Their fear reveals their struggle to grasp the significance of his presence, emphasizing that discipleship is a journey of faith that grows through challenges and experiences. Jesus' calm amidst the storm contrasts with their fear, illustrating the transformative power of faith to bring peace even in the most chaotic moments. Storms in our lives. A universal experience. Though many of us have never faced a literal storm on the Sea of Galilee, we are all familiar with life's metaphorical storms. These are the moments when our sense of control is stripped away and we feel adrift in chaos. Storms come in many forms: a devastating diagnosis, the loss of a loved one, the breakdown of a relationship, financial hardship, or mental health struggles. They challenge our resilience and test our faith. Statistics show that nearly 33% of adults in the United States experience extreme stress during significant life challenges, underscoring how universal these storms are. One poignant example shared during a sermon on this passage involved a young couple who lost their 3-month-old baby unexpectedly. This storm, sudden and devastating, left them reeling. Yet, through the support of their community and their faith in God, they found the strength to carry on. Their story illustrates the reality that storms can overwhelm us, but they also provide opportunities to experience God's presence and grace in profound ways. Fear and faith. The storm within. As much as this story is about the external storm, it is also about the internal storm within the disciples. Their fear and their plea to Jesus reveals the vulnerability and powerlessness they feel in the face of the chaos around them. This internal storm is something we all experience. It manifests as doubt, anxiety, anger, or a sense of isolation. According to recent psychological studies, over 40 million adults in the United States struggle with anxiety disorders, which can feel like an internal tempest. However, Jesus' response points us to a deeper truth. His calm in the midst of the storm shows that peace is not about the absence of chaos, but about trust in God's sovereignty. The real transformation happens not when the storm is calmed, but when we learn to anchor our faith in God despite the storm. By inviting us to examine our inner fears and trust in divine authority, this story offers a pathway to spiritual and emotional resilience. Lessons from the story. Faith that transcends circumstances. One of the most profound lessons from this story is that faith does not eliminate life's storms, but transforms how we navigate them. Jesus' presence in the boat did not prevent the storm from arising, reminding us that faith does not shield us from pain, loss, or hardship. Instead, it shifts our perspective and strengthens us to endure adversity. The disciples' cry, "Don't you care?" reflects a universal feeling during struggles, yet Jesus' presence assures us we are never alone, even when God seems silent. This is echoed in Isaiah, where God promises strength and help in our fear. Furthermore, Jesus' ability to sleep through the storm exemplifies a peace rooted in trust, rather than circumstances, a peace that surpasses understanding, as described in Philippians, and invites us to surrender control and rely on God's unfailing presence and provision. A call to faith, facing life's storms. The story of Jesus calming the storm is a call to examine our own faith. When storms arise, do we react with fear and doubt, or do we turn to God with trust and confidence? This is not an easy question to answer, especially in the midst of hardship. Yet it is in these moments that we have the opportunity to grow in our faith and deepen our relationship with God. Faith does not guarantee smooth sailing, but provides the anchor we need to endure. Author Haruki Murakami captures this idea beautifully. And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain: when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what the storm is all about. Faith doesn't take us around the storm, it takes us through it. It allows us to see and experience God's presence, even in the darkest moments. And as we emerge from the storm, we are changed, stronger, wiser, and more aware of God's faithfulness. Stories of people who have navigated life's storms with faith often inspire others, demonstrating the transformative power of trust in God. That's all for today's video. If you found this message inspiring and uplifting, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need to hear it today. Let's grow together in faith and love. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.